inside your bay, which it will automatically be charging every time. If you go to your engine room, take out every single battery, but to make sure you still have power, keep one in for oxygen. Oh, we're gonna have to put on my 100. So if you run out of oxygen or power, it'll go on backup power, and this whole ship, you'll run out of air. Now, if you go down here, it'll lead you to the tunnels, aka leading to the sea moth under it. If you go right here, it'll say power cell. If you are lucky enough to find, if you can find this charger, the power cell charger, you can sell 2 cells at the same time, which takes time. Number 2, the Cyclops is a very busy ship, and it takes a lot of work. As you can see, I have all these storages. I had to add 2 more. You always want to make sure you take care of it. Like, if you go up to my room, up in my captain's room, you can see I have some floods. Make sure you take care of those, and try not to start fires in your building, because then it will just cause huge problems, which happened to me. Now I just gotta fix up some repairs. Another thing, if you're gonna make this your home base, I didn't make this my home base, but I had some things to do, like add a fabricator. This just lets me cook my food and stuff if I'm gone for long times out of my base, which just saves me time. And as you can see, there's these big doors in all these big rooms. These doors, if you have water coming out in these middle of the doors, obviously the one over there doesn't have doors. Sometimes I just do it just for safety, but like rooms can start to flood, and these doors prevent flooding. Number 3. Part of the ship. As you can see, we have our upgrades and our energy. You always want to make sure you keep the energy going. You never want to stop moving, because right now I'm having trouble where I don't have enough power going to the ship to make it needs to charge all of its batteries unless we're going to move again. Some of you might say, why don't you just take out the batteries? This is what happens when you take out the battery. You ready? Power turns off. It's hard to see anything. And then it starts turning into water because it's not oxygen. As you can see, I have a little base over there, but I don't have. If I go here, I think I have this in my base. I just don't know. But it's good to watch the power. Make sure if you ever die. Now, here's the second thing. Fourth thing. Whenever you have this, always have a sea moth, okay? Don't just rush to try to get this first, because the sea moth is very useful. It mainly helps you find these parts, but make sure you always get the sea moth first. That's what I did. Now you must be wondering, it's so big, and how do I get around? Honestly, it's pretty hard to get around. It's a pretty big ship. It's hard to handle. I gotta keep repairing it constantly sometimes. Look over here, this hole doesn't want me to repair for some reason. So that's another problem. So I want to stop this boat and just take out all the power cells, go charge them all, which I'm going to. I'm going to try to get to my home base if I can drive. Well, I can. Another thing. Oh. You may be thinking, how does this boat start up anyways? It's actually a very interesting subject because some people think, oh, it works by itself and like all you have to do is move the throttle, your stick. But it's actually opposite. Because this one has a little trick. If you turn up to a certain temperature, it will overheat. And it's not good to let it overheat because once it overheats, it'll start a fire. And once you start a fire, it's kind of, you want to try to repair as fast as you can. And right now, I have two bases, one in the middle of work and the other one right now. As you can see, these bases are really hard to control. And I only have 42% of percent. One more thing. This is a big Reaper magnet. So whenever you go to the Reapers, make sure you watch yourself. Another thing, if you're making a base, make sure to mark it. Okay? If you don't mark your base, you're gonna get lost. Another big thing about this is there's a lot of new things that the Seamoth has and what this has. The Seamoth isn't really that many stuff in it. It's just throttle, repairing, and active upgrades. But this, it's you have to take care of it. Like right now, what I'm doing is because down there, that's my home base. It's always powered. So every time I'm done with my Seamoth, I usually go over, make sure everything's good, take my batteries to make sure I have enough power, and because then this will change. But then this will be halfway done. As you can see, this big little ship here, this big ship is a big responsibility in the game. It's fun to have. And I don't know how you guys want to do it, but I started off with getting the Seamoth first. Like, it's like having your own base underground. It's good to have, it brings you safety and stuff, but you also gotta remember, it could also be your death trap, or your death day. So as you can see, I got so many power cells, they need to be charged. This, you may be thinking, everybody has questions like, why does this always reset back up to 100 when it goes in here? The reason is, this little machine here is actually a charger. It's like the one in the ship. It charges the power cell, so it will always move. And just a reminder, if you're gonna make this big thing, make sure it says in it when you first get it, it's a big responsibility. They say that to scare you, but remember, Reapers I have experienced a Reaper before with this machine, and it's not pleasant. The Reaper destroyed majority of the thing. All the underground part was shredded, like water was filling up. I was lucky to make it back to my home base. And make sure when you have a sea moth, it's also the same responsibility, but certain ones can actually destroy this easier. So a reaper will grab it by its mouth and toss you around like a toy. So make sure you know what you're doing. And it's a pretty hard responsibility to take care of this place. Like, sometimes I have troubles. And here's the good things about the Cyclops. It has free storage, as you could see. I showed you. It has cameras, so you can look around, and it has a silent rig, so nothing could hear you, and big lights. And here's one of the cons: is it cannot go in small water areas. So like near your life pod, you want to try to keep on the outskirts between the seaweed and the dry sand. Because I got stuck once. And funny thing is, this Cyclops, another prone is, it's also, what I did today was I just went hunting and I got a whole bunch of food. And like, if you're gonna make it your base, don't tend to move it too often, because it's a waste of battery. Your battery mainly is a waste on your engine, not your whole thing. Like, honestly, it was pretty hard for me. And it's hard to change everything at every time. This game gets harder as it goes. Like, you explore new areas. Like over here, my scanner room. Honestly, it's the best room right now because, let's just say I wanted to find magnetite. The yellow dot is where it is, and then I also have drones, which is not on the map because I don't really need them. This just tells you everything you need to know about the game. It tells you everything you found or would want, like blood oil. This one all the way down here is where my base is. That majority. Honestly, I would recommend the game if you're one of those people who love to play survival games. Like, this game is survival, health, food, and water. When you first get in, when I first got the game, I was very confused on what I'm supposed to do, how am I supposed to do it, am I doing it right or am I doing it wrong? Like, everybody knows the game. Like, I know the game very well. Like, I never actually did one of these tutorials because, like, I kind of knew the game inside and out. Like, this game is pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Like, as you can see, like, I have battery chargers for my stuff. Like, no, right here. No, that's food. Whoops. Right here, I have batteries 100% charged. I don't tend to use them because I'm gonna save them for extra stuff. Well, when at the start, you get a lot of radio calls. Okay. And the reason why I suggest get the sea moth very quickly is there's a mission that you might want it because there's some spots you can't get to. But one more thing before I let you guys go is to get the sea moth, aka mobile vehicle bay, you may snap a screenshot of the ingredients, but it's not the ingredients you need to find. It's actually the parts that you find in all these right here. You gotta find in wreckages. Like, because I have the scanner room, I can easily find fragments, which gives me unlock stuff for me. So if I just hit fragments, of course I have none in my area because I searched all of them. But maybe wreckages, because I have some wreckages near me. Metal salvage is another good thing. Wrecks. Okay, so this is where I live, right around here. That's where a wreck is. If I go to that wreck, I will find stuff that will be useful to me and my group. I hope this helped you when you start and you get the Cyclops and the Seamoth. Remember, get the Seamoth before the Cyclops because it's a big help. You can power the charges there like what I'm doing. One more thing before I let you go. The Cyclops is the hardest thing to take care of. There's so many things that can go wrong. Like, I had a couple fires, stuff. It's not a fun adventure. It's a fun adventure when you drive it, but remember, keep it in the middle, or unless you have a Reaper behind you, go fast. If I usually have fires and I'm close to home, I don't tend to because it's kind of a big risk, but tend to watch. Also, get the Sea Glide first. For equipment, get Sea Glide. And as you can see, when you first make a base, you're gonna have this little thing called power. Once that runs out, you're kind of done. Hope this has helped you make power for your bases. As you know, I am exotic, and I hope this helps you get into the game. It's a pretty hard game, so hope you guys love the game. And bye bye.